Sometimes life throws the hardest trials at us precisely when we are least prepared for them. One such trial is the loss of a loved one without the chance to say a final, "Forgive me," "I love you," or "Thank you." This feeling of incompleteness is familiar to many of us, like a stone that constantly weighs on the heart. Every day I receive messages from people who carry this pain within them. Some didn't make it to see their parents in time. Some were in another country, and others simply didn't realize that an ordinary conversation would be the last. This inability to say goodbye leaves a deep wound in the soul that seems never to heal. I see how you suffer, how you replay the last days, hours, minutes over and over in your mind. How you torment yourself with thoughts like, if only I had known, if only I had made it, if only I had done things differently. These if-onlys can haunt us for years, poisoning life and making it difficult to move forward. But today I want to talk to you about what really matters, about how we can help not only ourselves, but also the soul of our departed loved one. After all, even if we didn't manage to say the important words out loud, it doesn't mean we can't say them now. Even if we weren't there in the final moments, it doesn't mean we can't leave a bright trace in the world in memory of the person we loved. Let's figure out together how to cope with this pain, how to find ways to say goodbye, even if it seems like the time has already passed. Because love and the bond between close people don't end with the last breath. They continue to live in our hearts, actions, and memories. In everyone's life, saying goodbye plays a special role. It's not just words or actions. It's a deep emotional process that helps us accept the inevitable and begin the journey toward healing. When we say goodbye to a loved one, it's as if we're closing one chapter of life and preparing for the start of a new one, already without the physical presence of that person by our side. Every culture has its own unique traditions for saying farewell to those who have passed. In some, it's customary to mourn loudly, while in others, quiet ceremonies are held. In some places, loved ones gather to share stories from the deceased's life. Elsewhere, strict rituals are observed. But all these traditions serve one purpose: to help the living let go of the person in peace and preserve their bright memory. When the opportunity to say goodbye is lost, our psyche faces a serious challenge. It's like a book with an unwritten final page or a song that suddenly stops mid-verse. A sense of incompleteness remains, which can haunt us for many years. Our brain keeps searching for ways to finish this process, returning again and again to the final moments. But the most important thing is to understand that the lack of a physical opportunity to say goodbye doesn't mean we can't create our own special farewell ritual. After all, the main thing is not saying the words at a specific moment in time, but that our feelings and thoughts are sincere. What matters is what we carry in our hearts, the love and gratitude we feel for the departed. There are many ways to say important words even after a person has gone. One of the most effective is writing a farewell letter. Take a piece of paper and simply start writing everything you would like to say to your loved one. Don't worry about rules or elegance. Let it be a sincere, heart-to-heart conversation. Share your feelings, memories, and ask for forgiveness if you feel the need. Creating a special place of memory helps many. This could be a corner in your home with a photo of your loved one, where you can sit in silence, talk to them, or just be still. Some plant a tree or flowers, creating a living monument they can care for. Others light a candle on special days or place the person's cherished items in a memory box. The practice of internal dialogue is also very helpful. Find a quiet place where no one will disturb you, close your eyes, and imagine your loved one nearby. Tell them everything you wish you could have said. Don't fear your emotions. You can cry, smile, or be silent. In such moments, many feel an incredible relief and even sense the invisible presence of their loved one. You can create your own personal farewell ritual. For example, every evening before bed, send a mental message of love or gratitude. Or on special dates, do something your loved one enjoyed. Cook their favorite dish. Listen to their favorite music. Visit places that were dear to them. These actions help maintain the bond and gradually transform the sharp pain of loss into a bright memory. There are many ways to honor the memory of a loved one that can help both you and their soul. It's not necessary to follow strict religious canons. You can find what resonates most with your heart. For example, on the person's birthday or the anniversary of their passing, you can gather friends and family to remember the brightest moments connected with them. Such gatherings help preserve memories and support one another. Different traditions have unique ways of remembrance. Some light candles and say prayers, others distribute food to those in need, and some simply spend time in quiet reflection. What's important is not the action itself, but the feeling of love and respect we put into it. Because every kind act done in memory of someone is like an invisible thread connecting our worlds. One of the most effective ways to help the soul of the departed is through charity. You can help those your loved one helped or wanted to help in their lifetime. If they loved animals, support a shelter. If they cared for children, assist an orphanage. If they dreamed of making the world better, volunteer. Such actions not only maintain a kind memory, but also fill your life with meaning. You can create something everlasting in memory of the person. Plant a tree, open a small library with their books, establish a scholarship in their name for students, or organize regular assistance for those in need. What's most important is that this aligns with the character and values of the departed, because the greatest help for their soul is to continue the good deeds that mattered to them in life. The guilt we feel when we didn't get to say goodbye to a loved one can be very heavy. It follows us like a shadow, poisoning even the brightest memories. We blame ourselves for being far away, for not sensing the trouble, for not saying the most important words. But it's important to understand, this is a natural reaction of a loving heart, not a sign that we are truly guilty of anything. Our mind often plays cruel tricks on us, making us believe that we could have foreseen and prevented everything. But the truth is that none of us can know in advance when the final hour will come. We cannot control time and circumstances. And most importantly, our loved ones know of our love not only from the words spoken in the last moments, but from the entire history of our relationship. To begin accepting the situation, you need to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, could you really have changed anything? Would you have acted differently if you had known what would happen? Usually, we do everything in our power, based on the information we have at the time. And there is no guilt in that. There are only human limitations that each of us faces. Forgiving yourself is a process that takes time and patience. Start small. Every time guilt overwhelms you, remind yourself of the good moments you shared with the departed person. Those times when you were there, when you helped, when you brought joy. After all, it is these moments that hold the true value of relationships, not what we failed to do in the last minutes. The memory of a person lives not only in our hearts, but also in the actions we take. Helping the soul of the departed can be done in many ways, and one of the most important is to continue what they started in life. Every kind gesture, every good deed, becomes a bridge between us and those who have left. If your loved one was passionate about something, dreamed of something special, or had plans, you can bring them to life. Perhaps they wanted to help children, become a volunteer at an orphanage. They dreamed of writing a book, compile their notes and stories, preserving them for future generations. They loved nature, plant a garden or organize a park cleanup. The key is to do it with love and positive thoughts. It is very important to preserve and pass on the memory of a person to those who didn't get a chance to know them. Tell your children or grandchildren about what they were like, what they taught, and what they believed in. Record their stories, collect photographs, and create a memory album. You can even organize gatherings where close ones share their memories. This way, the image of the person becomes fuller and more alive. It is especially valuable to continue the traditions established by your loved one. Maybe they always gathered the family on Sundays or helped neighbors. Perhaps they had special holiday rituals or a pie recipe everyone loved. By continuing these traditions, we extend a thread of time, connecting the past and the future, preserving a piece of the departed person's soul in daily life. Each story of loss and farewell is unique, but the experiences of others can help us find our own path to healing. Here's the story of Anna, who lost her mother while living in another country. She didn't make it back in time to say goodbye and couldn't forgive herself for a long time. But one day she started keeping a journal where she wrote letters to her mother, sharing news, asking for advice, and expressing her feelings. Gradually, these letters helped her cope with the loss and maintain a living connection with her mother in her heart. Another example is Michael, who didn't get to talk to his father before his sudden passing. The guilt tormented him until he decided to complete his father's main project, renovating the old house where he spent his childhood. While working on the house, Michael felt like he was talking to his father, recalling his advice, learning to forgive himself. Now the whole family gathers in that house, and the memory of his father lives in every corner. Elena found solace in helping others. After she missed the chance to say goodbye to her grandmother, she became a volunteer at a nursing home. Every time she helped the elderly, she felt like she was doing something her grandmother would have approved of. This helped her turn the pain of loss into a source of goodness and support for others. All these people went through dark times of despair and guilt, but each found their own way to maintain a connection with their departed loved one. They understood the main thing. Love knows no boundaries of time and space, and the memory of a person lives in our actions and deeds. Their experiences show that even the deepest wounds can heal if you find the right path to recovery. Remember that the souls of our loved ones are always near us. They live in the rustle of leaves, in the rays of the sun, in the warm spring breeze. They come to us in dreams, remind us of themselves with a random melody or a familiar scent. And even if we didn't manage to say all the words of farewell, our love and memory become the bridge that connects our worlds. It is important to understand that the grieving process is not a straight road, but a path with ups and downs. There are days when the pain recedes, and you find the strength to move forward, and there are moments when sorrow returns with new force. This is normal. Allow yourself to experience all these feelings. Do not blame yourself for tears or moments of weakness. Every tear is a tribute to love. Every memory is a thread connecting us to those who have gone. On this journey, it is very important to take care of yourself. Find time to rest, surround yourself with supportive people, and don't isolate yourself. Talk about your feelings, share memories, and ask for help when you need it. Remember that self-care is not selfishness, but a necessity. Only by filling your heart with peace and acceptance can you truly help the souls of your loved ones. Believe that healing is possible. Perhaps not today or tomorrow, but gradually the sharp pain of loss will turn into a bright memory. And one day you will realize that you can smile when remembering your loved one, that you can talk about them to others without tears, that their presence in your life has become a source of strength and wisdom. Because true love never dies. It simply changes form, becoming an eternal light in our hearts. Finally, I want to thank everyone who watched this video to the end. I know the topic is not easy, but it is very important for many of us. If this conversation has helped you even a little, that will be the best reward. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos on coping with loss, finding the strength to move forward, and helping others. Share this video with those who might find it helpful. And remember, you are not alone on this journey. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you soon.